The Qatari-based International Union of Muslim Scholars has released an egregious fatwa against Israel, calling for armed jihad against the Jewish state. Well, Mark Halawa, who grew up in Kuwait as a Palestinian refugee, joins us now from Jerusalem. So, Mark, your native language is Arabic, and you read this thing. Help us understand, what does this actually mean?
Thank you for having me, Raj. My native language is Arabic, but the person who issued this under his name, his native language is Turkish. So I wonder if he wrote it himself, to be honest. Now, it's what you read. Anybody could go on Twitter or anywhere and see this gentleman. I don't want to call him a gentleman out of respect, just because, he's a guy. Dr. Dari. Dr. Dari has an account where you could click on translate and read the pointers. And if you want to read further, you could go to the website itself and read it. But then we have to remember that Mr. Dari, the head of this Fatwa Islamic organization, which is not the mainstream one, this is the Muslim Brotherhood created one. This guy is not a free man to say whatever he wants to. He does not live in Washington, D.C. or Ottawa or any Western country where he could just, in his free will. No, this man, and like everybody else who lives in Qatar, are on a leash. He says exactly what he's allowed to say or what he's told to say. Now, these things have happened throughout time, throughout history, in the past. 2023, November 1st, there was like some ridiculous similar fatwa of jihad that everybody has to go and attack the Zionists or Israelis or occupation, whatever you'd like to mask it. These things, unfortunately, spill into, terrorist attacks, God forbid. And it could be in Western countries, like people who listen to this kind of, the crowd of this Dr. Dagi. I call this another attempt by the Muslim Brotherhood, just like they have done before 1948, before Israel was a state, to move the emotions of Muslims and unify them around them and get their mosques packed with people where they could just send the message across to them. These to say, the Jews are desecrating the Temple Mount. By the way, this is a winner, this line. This has worked since I was a little kid. I heard it every single year. And hear it now. I live in Jerusalem. Down the street is the Temple Mount. And you hear this sometimes. And nothing's going on here. But people are boiling around the world, in Europe, in America, and areas where there is a Muslim Brotherhood strength. How to string this whole topic together, I'll leave it to your imagination and your viewers' imagination. But this man is not free to say whatever he wants to. And why now? Who's the target? In 2023, Jordan was a target and Egypt was a target. They wanted to go after Egypt again and bring the government down. Hamas, which is Muslim Brotherhood, has not been doing good recently. Their business has not been flourishing. The war in Gaza, they're losing, or they lost a lot of the leaders. Believe it or not, the Arab street is not on the side of the terrorist organization Hamas or the Muslim Brotherhood. They had enough. People are saying every year the same broken record. Unfortunately, though, radicalism is increasing in other sides of the world, in Europe, in America. So this message just, again, use your imagination, who the crowd could be. The crowd could be in Jordan. The crowd could be people in Europe who are going to listen to this Turkish man, tell him what to say. And I hope I'm wrong.
Basically, since September 11th, obviously us in the West have heard the word jihad many times, and there's a lot of things, maybe caricatures of what that actually means. As someone who grew up in the Middle East, lives in the Middle East, help us understand when someone calls, like this cleric, this leader calls for jihad against the Jewish state, what does that even mean?
Raj, this is a very important question we're asking. Now, the word jihad, anybody could Google online and see it. People describe it however they want to, struggle, fight, holy war, this and that. Now, another Muslim organization that is respected amongst Sunnis, they're not always saying happy things, but, it's based in Egypt, and it's called Al-Azhar. You probably heard of it. So that Imam of Al-Azhar came over right away the second day today and said, whoa, whoa, 1 second, you cannot call for jihad. There are no religious foundations to call for jihad. If me, Mark, I cannot call for jihad. Why? I have to be a ruler, agreed upon ruler of a certain country, Muslim country, that was attacked, or, and then, you call on full mobilization, all that kind of stuff. Everybody's going to go and fight until the end. But these requirements or these conditions did not meet. First of all, who started the war in Gaza? Hamas, or the Muslim Brotherhood, who are telling us right now to go and wage another war against Israel, are the ones who went and massacred 1,300 or 1,200 and plus people and started and brought this catastrophe upon Gaza Strip. So where are you taking us now? Since you mentioned a couple of times that my Arabic, I sometimes forget that I speak Arabic, but sometimes I tell myself, man, thank God, such a gift. Not only to read the news, that's easy, but you read people's comments and tweets sometimes. The Arab world does not want this. Everybody's taking, just simply speaking against them. Look at accounts from Saudi Arabia, or the UAE, or Qatar, even Kuwait, other countries of that sort. They do not want to bring upon their countries destruction, the same destruction under the banner of fighting occupation, fighting apartheid, and all these things that destroyed many Arab countries today.
Well, that's actually maybe my last question for right now, which is what percentage, if you can, I guess, what percentage of the wars that Israel faces are strictly geopolitical, checkpoints, green lines, occupied territories, resources, so on and so forth, versus this, which is religiously minded, bent, fatwa, jihad, reclaiming the land of Islam. How much of what Israel faces from Hamas and Hezbollah and everyone in between, the Houthis, the Iranian regime, is religiously based and just purely geopolitical?
It's an excellent question, and the answer is in the tweet itself that Dr. Ari, the head of this Muslim Brotherhood organization, said in his fatwa when he called people to wage jihad against Israel. He said specifically, not only the jihad and the fighting and the terrorism part, he said it should be immediately forbidden for countries to enter into peace agreements with Israel. And for those who have peace agreements, they need to nullify it. So this answers your question. The whole thing is, this is a power play right now. There's a vacuum in Syria, for example, and you have the new so-called moderate government over there, the guys who trimmed their beads a little bit and put suits on right now, and they went from fully extreme to this. Now, we don't know their stance yet, but they are a perfect candidate to be partnering with the different players who, like the Muslim Brotherhood, Hamas, Qatar funded them and helped found them. So there are various aspects of this playing. Where did he seek to reach with this? I'm not really... I mean, they could plan as much as they want to, but let's see how the near future unfolds. Everybody has a plan, but God has his ultimate plan. Let's see how it unfolds.
Amen, amen. Well, Mark Halawa, you are not only super, intelligent and understanding when it comes to the dynamics of the Middle East, but you're also a good friend of mine. So, Mark, my brother, thank you so much.
Bless you. Thank you so much for having me.